first question for you. Do you actually ever see you? Oh, my pleasure. Do you think you're going to see your $25,000 again?
Well, it's probably unlikely. It's probably more likely that I'll win the mega lottery than getting my $25,000 back. But I'd like to think that, through the court system and through the prioritization of the customers that come first, that maybe we will see some of our money. I hate to think that the venture capital firms and a lot of the big investors in the company itself are going to be standing in line in front of us as customers that actually had our money robbed out of our accounts. So, but it's probably a very long shot. I'd like to see the process though. I'd like to see him go to court, and I'd like to see a trial where we can all get to the bottom of exactly what happened.
That's a good point. Are you part of the new class action lawsuit against FTX?
No, I have not filed yet. In fact, I keep trying to investigate to see what the process is to file a claim, and I really haven't found out yet.
Yeah. Are you still investing in crypto?
God, Lord, no. Please, no. I think if I get some of my money back, I invested a small amount of my money. I'm retired now, so I don't have a tremendous amount of money in the market in crypto. But if I were to get some of that back, I think maybe I would look at possibly reinvesting it, because I think crypto is good for the future. I think it's a good currency. I think it has certain value. But I think the biggest thing is let's take care of the customers that were robbed of their, many times, many more thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars more than what I was robbed of out of my account. Hopefully, we'll get some justice, and some of us will get some of that money returned.
I've done probably a dozen large, scale bankruptcies over my career, including Enron, of course. Every one of those entities had some financial problem or another. They have some characteristics that are in common. This one is unusual, and it's unusual in the sense that literally, there's no record keeping whatsoever. It's the absence of record keeping. Employees would communicate, invoicing and expenses on Slack, which is, essentially a way of communicating for chat rooms. They use QuickBooks, a multi-billion-dollar company using QuickBooks. QuickBooks. Nothing against QuickBooks, very nice tool, just not for a multi-billion-dollar company. There's no independent board, right? We had one person really controlling this. No independent board. That's highly unusual in a size company this is. And it's made all more complex because we're not dealing with, widgets or something that's tangible. We're dealing with crypto, and the technological issues are made worse when you're dealing with an asset such as crypto. Enron was is a really a different company. The crimes that were committed there were highly orchestrated financial machinations by highly sophisticated people to keep transactions off balance sheets. This is really old-fashioned and embezzlement. This is just taking money from customers and using it for your own purpose. Not sophisticated at all. Sophisticated perhaps in the way they were able to sort of hide it from people.
What time was Mr. Bankman-Fried arrested yesterday?
I believe it was in the early evening hours after 4 o'clock.
I believe it was
7 o'clock, perhaps.
It was in the evening after that filing.
6, 7 o'clock, yes.
I would like to submit to the record the statement from the Attorney General of the Bahamas issued yesterday on the arrest of Mr. Samuel Bankman-Fried. And after submitting that to the record, I would like to note that in this statement, they stated at such time as a formal request for extradition is made, presumably by the Southern District of New York, but they do not state when that request for extradition was made. Do you believe that information is important for us to understand in order to piece together a timeline, Mr. Ray?
Yes, sir. I certainly don't have that full timeline, and that's something that we look forward to learning.
The circumstances that led to FTX's collapse, those circumstances still exist in the crypto space, and can other companies collapse in a similar set of circumstances?
Well, certainly we've ceased trading, so it won't happen in our company. Could it happen at other companies? I can't speak to them because I don't know how each of these companies are operated. Obviously, our company operated in a very distinct way that led to losses, but I think every company is different.
My first question I would like to ask all four of you, and please give as close to a yes or no answer as you can. The world is troubled by the extent of the fraud and misconduct at FTX. We all agree on that. Too many people have lost money they thought was safe. Some have suggested that what we see at FTX was unique, a one-off caused by one immoral fraudster rather than something more widespread and systemic. So starting with you, Professor Allen, does this kind of carelessness, misconduct, or worse exist at other crypto firms?
Yes.
Mr. O'Leary?
Yes, the unregulated crypto firms.
Ms. Schultz?
Most likely.
Schenken?
It's endemic.
So let me ask you directly. You were an investor in FTX, and I know you've spoken frequently with Sam Bankman-Fried over an extended period of time. Why do you believe FTX failed?
I have an opinion. I don't have the records. Here it is. After my accounts were stripped of all of their assets and all of the accounting and trade information, I couldn't get answers from any of the executives in the firm, so I simply called Sam Bankman-Fried and said, "Where is the money, Sam?" He said he had been refused access to the servers. He no longer knew. I said, okay, let's step back. This is a simple case in my mind of where did the money go? And I said, Sam, walk me back 24 months. Tell me the use of proceeds of the assets of your company. Where did you spend it?
Why didn't the SEC enforce rules on the books? Could that have prevented FTX's collapse?
We are enforcing them. The Securities and Exchange Commission, I couldn't be prouder, and started under my predecessor, Jay Clayton, has brought over 100 enforcement cases in this space. And what we've said to what is largely a non-compliant field, there's about 10,000 of these crypto tokens. And then there's not just dozens, but maybe hundreds of service providers, broker-dealers. They might call themselves exchanges. I might call themselves other things. You might think of them as the casinos, wherein the investing public is looking for a better future. And because most of these tokens are securities, that means that the storefronts, if you wish, or the casinos need to come into compliance with our time-tested laws. And what that means is basically not using customer funds as many of them do. Their business model right now is offering the public, they say, they're purporting to offer them an interest return in crypto, 4, 8, 12, sometimes 15 or even 20% returns, and then possibly trading against their customers, trading ahead of their customers, lending that out. Anywhere else in finance, these conflicts are not allowed and they're separated out. So we have publicly been saying to these crypto intermediaries, they might call themselves crypto lending, they might call them crypto exchanges, these crypto intermediaries, in essence, the casinos, if I might say it again, to come into compliance with the law. We brought a number of actions, crypto exchange Poloniex last year, in September of 2021, when a large exchange, Coinbase, wanted to get into the crypto lending space. We said that would not be compliant with the laws the way they were set up. We brought actions against crypto lending platforms, including BlockFi, and we will continue to be a vigorous securities regulator. But I really do suggest to these intermediaries, these storefronts, these casinos, if you wish, to come into compliance, work with the SEC to get into compliance, disaggregate these businesses.
So given that you've laid out that firms cannot use customer assets to trade with.
Our laws say this.
And,
Congress
right,
has said this. You
right.
can't use somebody's stock assets
But that's
either.
exactly what FTX was doing. So it sounds like they were in flagrant violation of SEC law.
I can't speak to any one case or any one situation.
Hello guys, it's yet another day and we are still seeing the unfairness that happened behind closed doors that eventually led to the collapse of crypto. If Gary Gensler knew all of this, why didn't he stop FTX? Or why was he meeting with Sam in closed doors? All the same, this specific collapse has caused a huge spread of fearful news all over the cryptoverse. And it's time we set the record straight. XRP is the future of crypto. Simply put, because it will likely be the only one that gets regulatory clarity. Now, before we get into all that, let's roll that intro. As always, welcome to Moneyside, your favorite crypto channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you get updates when we drop new videos. Don't forget to smash that like button, and you can always leave a comment or a question in the section below. Sam is by far the biggest scammer of our time. And how much of this money will make it back to the customers? Unfortunately, the chances are most of them will never get their money back. Even if they trace these funds through the public accounting, we may never see that money. And that's a big problem. Gary Gensler is always acting like the police in this entire experience, but when it comes to FTX, he doesn't. That's because deep down, Gensler knows that whatever happened with FTX was his fault. He shouldn't have given a bunch of kids the chance to run a firm in the Bahamas with probably zero skills on such levels of management. But here's another story. What if Gensler did this intentionally? Now, hear me out. What if he knew very well that this platform would collapse and just let it continue? That's because, if anything, the current collapse will only cause stiffer regulations to happen in the crypto world. For instance, we now expect the SEC to go all in with their regulations of the cryptoverse, and it will probably lead to the collapse of the entire crypto system. That said, if you have any crypto on exchanges, right now is the best time to invest in a cold wallet option. Don't let your crypto sit on exchanges, because we don't know which one will be going down next. Thankfully, this year is the year of XRP, since we are about to witness the end of this case. And when that happens, this crypto will head straight to the moon and higher. We expect it to recover drastically within a short span. And if you will not have invested in it, then I'm sure you're going to miss out on the bullish trend of the century. XRP will soon be out of the court case and American citizens will again be able to invest in it. So, if you have a way to buy this crypto while it's still in court, now is the time. After that, you will be too late. The best part about it is that it's all happening in front of the whole world. As always, please do your own research and always trade safely, guys. Please keep in mind we're not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. You can always let us know what you think in the comment section below and start up a conversation. Thanks as always for watching. Couldn't be here without you. Don't forget to like this video and please click on that subscribe button below and turn on notifications. That way you'll get informed whenever we post our amazing content. Thanks again, and we will see you on the next Money Side.